of the holy name, and 10 is to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Hare Krishna devotees, I welcome you all on the early morning Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Thank you so much to all the devotees that you all join here every day. So Matajis and Prabhujis, please feel free to unmute yourself, announce your name, and give me the opportunity to welcome you all in this platform. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण नीना माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीतिदासी संसार हरे कृष्ण हैप्पी दामोदर टू यू हरे कृष्ण
Haribol Mataji, my humble obeisances, Achila to sweet Mata, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj, all glories to all the assembled devotees here. And yes, happy Damodar month to all of you. I don't know what vows you all have taken. We are here to inspire each other, Mataji. And Prabhuji, definitely keep joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call every day in this Damodar month. Hare Krishna, welcome.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and Gauranga, all glories to all the assembled devotees on the call. This is Harita from Texas Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Anita Mata Ji, Dandavat Pranam Mata, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for all your services, Mata Ji. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Thank you for your association, Mata Ji. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Thank you, Mataji, for your services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mata Ji, Dandavat Pranam Mata, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you so much for all your wonderful services every day, Mata Ji. Thank you for being the backbone of Bhakti Sangha Chapa conference call. And happy Damodar to you, your family, and all the wonderful devotees that have joined here, Mata Ji. Welcome, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, or Guru Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mata Ji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mata Ji. Please keep joining us and giving your wonderful association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, and pranam to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Assembled devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mata Ji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to all the assembled devotees here, Mata Ji. Thank you so much for joining every day Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Please keep making this wonderful association more auspicious with your kind association every day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sundarangi Radha Devidasi from India. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to the wonderful associated devotees here, Mataji. Please keep joining us every day, especially in this auspicious month of Kartik. Thank you so much for your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the all respected and most dedicated devotees of Bhakti Sangha. This is Pooja Arora from Haridwar.
Haribol Puja Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Ganga Maya ki jai that is flowing there in Haridwar, Mataji. Thank you so much for giving us your beautiful association every day. Thank you so much for your great questions, Mataji. Please keep giving us your association. Hare Krishna. Devotees, we are very fortunate that today His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj is our keynote speaker from Srimad Bhagavatam. Prior to his joining, I will go ahead and give a brief introduction about him, and here it goes. So, His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj is a disciple of ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and he's also an initiating spiritual master within the ISKCON movement. Maharaj was born in New Jersey in 1947. Maharaj came in contact with the International Society of Krishna Consciousness in Denver, Colorado at the tender age of 24. In 1973, he began practicing Krishna consciousness in New York City and shortly thereafter began serving at the New Vrindavan Farm community in West Virginia. That same year, he received initiation from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In 1986, His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj accepted the sannyas order and began preaching in Cincinnati in Columbus, Ohio. In 1995, he began serving as the resident sannyasi in Chicago, where he was based until 2013. And then after that, he relocated to Karlovac in Croatia in Europe. At present, Maharaj offers spiritual guidance across Europe, USA, and India. And Maharaj has also written a book called Krishna's Way, Natural Living, about the importance of Varnashrama Dharma and spiritual ecology. I think that is also available. The book is available on Amazon as well. Thank you so much for listening to His Holiness' brief introduction and getting inspired by that. Devotees, feel free to unmute yourself and continue to announce your name until Maharaj joins, so I can welcome you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Melbourne.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to all the assembled devotees here. All glories to Kartik Man, Damodar Mat Mataji. And above all glories to your wonderful dedication and services every day, 365 days a year. Haribol. Thank you so much for your association, Mataji. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna. We are still waiting for His Holiness to join. Devotees, feel free to unmute and announce your name so we can welcome you on Bhakti Sangha.
Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. This is Balavan Nitai Das saying good morning. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Balwan Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to assembled devotees here. Thank you so much for joining Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Thank you for giving us your association. Hare Krishna. Please keep joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please do allow me to recite few lines of the Damodar. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji, give me 1 second. I will check with Vinita Gandharvika Mataji or Indulekha Mataji if that's okay, because Maharaj will be joining soon. So I don't know if you should
Mataji,
just...
that's okay. Let her sing one stanza. That's okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
please go ahead, Mataji.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माताजी. श्री श्री दामोदर श्री श्री यशोदा महारानी की जय. नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानंद रूपम लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले भजमानः नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपम् लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमाना यशोदाभियुलूकलाघवमानम् परामृष्टमात्यन्तो तु धृतगोप्या यशोदाभियुलूकलाघवमानम् परामृष्टमात्यन्तो तु धृतगोप्या नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपम् लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानः कुबेरात्मजौ पद्मूर्तयद्वत्व तव्यामोचितौ भक्तिभाजौ पृथक् च तथा प्रेम भक्ति स्वकामे प्रयच्छ नमोक्षे ग्रहो मे स्ति दामोदर हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to you, Prabhu. Maharaj, all glories to all the assembled devotees here, and all glories to the wonderful, beautiful Damodar month. Maharaj, whenever you're ready, you can take the call over. We are currently on Canto 8, Chapter 11, and if you could kindly enlighten us on verse 8, whenever you're ready, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Ribo. Bring up the verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Taridam Kalarasanam Jagat Pasyanti Surayaha Narisyanti Nasochanti Tatra Yuyam Apanditaha. So, Bali Maharaj is speaking to Indra. Seeing the movements of time, those who are cognizant of the real truth neither rejoice nor lament for different circumstances. Therefore, because you are jubilant due to your victory, you should be considered not very learned. Apanditaha. Bali Maharaj knew that Indra, king of heaven, was extremely powerful, certainly more powerful than he himself. Nonetheless, Bali Maharaj challenged Indra by saying that Indra was not a very learned person. In the Bhagavad Gita 2:11, Krishna rebuked Arjuna by saying, Asochanam vasochastvam pragyavaram sthibhasasem gatasum makadasumscha nanusochanti panditaha. While speaking learned words, you are mourning for that which is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. Thus, as Krishna challenged Arjuna by saying that he was not a pundit or a learned person, Bali Maharaj also challenged King Indra and his associates. In this material world, everything happens under the influence of time. Consequently, for a learned person who sees how things are taking place, there is no question of being sorry or happy because of the waves of material nature. After all, since we are being carried away by these waves, what is the meaning of being jubilant or morose? One who is fully conversant with the laws of nature is never jubilant or morose because of material activities. In the Bhagavad Gita 2:14, Krishna advises one be tolerant. Tam stitiksava bharata. Following this advice of Krishna's, one should not be morose or unhappy because of circumstantial changes. This is the symptom of a devotee. A devotee carries out his duty in Krishna consciousness and is never unhappy in awkward circumstances. He has full faith that in such circumstances, Krishna protects his devotee. Therefore, devotee never deviates from his prescribed duty of devotional service. The material qualities of jubilation and moroseness are present even in the demigods, who are very highly situated in the upper planetary systems. Therefore, when one is undisturbed by so-called favorable and unfavorable circumstances in this material world, he should be understood to be Brahmabhuta, or self-realized. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Brahmabhuta prashannatma lasochati nakankshati. One who is transcendently situated at once realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. When one is undisturbed by material circumstances, he should be understood to be on the transcendental stage, above the reactions of the three modes of material nature. Om Gyan Timidandasya Gyanajina Salakaya Chaksu Unmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhistam Staptitam Yena Bhat Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimakte Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pacharine Nirvase Sasunyavadi Pastyatya De Satarni Vanchakalpatarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Titanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Once there was a very powerful and influential king who had everything he could possibly get in his position as being the king. So one day he said to his ministers, I want something that when I see it, if I'm happy, it will make me sad. And if I'm sad, it will make me happy. So the ministers were a little bit bewildered by the king's request. But one minister was a little intelligent. He said, my dear king, tomorrow I will present what you are asking for. So the next day, the minister came with a ring. And on the ring, there was an inscription, which had 4 words on the inscription on the ring. And the minister said, when you feel happy, you read this, it'll make you feel sad. And when you feel sad, you read this, it'll make you feel happy. So he gave the king the ring, and on the ring, the inscription said, this soon will end. This soon will end. The waves of material energy bring us reasons for happiness and reasons for distress. The one who is engaged in devotional service is called dhira. Dhira means undisturbed by happiness and distress, because they know all of these are caused by the material energy. And therefore, they remain fixed in their duty in devotional service and accept happiness and distress as part of life. That's all. And we see when people get distressed, how the whole world has ended practically. They start calling up their friends, relatives, and gurus and saying, this is the situation. Can you save me? I lost my job and now I'm in distress. My husband doesn't talk to me anymore. I'm in distress. my wife, doesn't want to cook for me anymore and I'm in distress. Or I just won the lottery in America and I'm happy. So there's a nice verse which illustrates this point completely in the Bhagavad Gita. If you can turn to that verse, it's in the 5th canto. I'm sorry, not Bhagavad. It's in Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter. 5th chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, verse number 20. Na parishyat priyam praptya no dujat prapracha priyam astira buddhira sammudo brahmavid brahmanis stira. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant, nor laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, he knows the science of God is already situated and transcends it. So this is called stira buddhi, or steadiness of mind, which is, or self-intelligent. One has to know that this is the material world is always moving, it's mutable. It will create situations for us to become unhappy, and it will create situations for us to rejoice and feel some happiness. But a devotee is not moved by these things because it knows it's simply the movements of time. That's all. And so they don't get overwhelmed with happiness or what we say, depressed by distress situations. They stay fixed in their devotional service, which is above the 3 modes of material nature. And then after some time, as they stay steady, they can achieve unlimited happiness, which is never ending. As it says in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, it goes on to explain in the 5th chapter, verse number 1, that one who is engaged in devotional service is getting what is called Brahma Sokyam. And that Brahma Sokyam is Anantam. Yeah, this is the verse here. My dear boys, of all living entities who accepted material bodies in this world, one who is awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified, and one attains this position. He attains eternal blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. So this is the nature of transcendental activities. It is above the material energy, and penances and austerities have to be, in other words, we ask the practitioners chant every day 16 rounds on beats without fail, and chant nicely, chant good rounds, and avoid illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, and gambling, and engage your mind and senses in some practical devotional service. This will situate one on the transcendental platform. And it will gradually, as Krishna, Lord Chaitanya says, Chaito Darpana Marjanam, the heart will become purified. When the heart becomes purified, then gradually transcendental happiness will manifest automatically in the minds and heart of the practitioner. So one doesn't have to become overwhelmed by the movements of material energy, because if one is disturbed by the movements of material energy, they are within the material energy. That's so. One has to know that this world is distressful, and there will always be distressful situations. There will be loss, there will be gain, there will be, ultimately, we will lose everything that we have in due course of time, and we will even lose the body we have. That will happen by the waves of time. Everyone who has a material body will lose it at one point. So therefore, a devotee is not disturbed by any of this, even when it happens to their friends and relatives. They know that this is material energy and is moving. But a devotee tries to rise above material energy by engaging in devotional service. And therefore, the happiness and distress that comes by way of devotional service is not material happiness and distress. Actually, there is no distress in devotional service. The distress we may feel in devotional service is simply due to our past karma in material life, which is still not purified by our devotional practice. But if you continue in your devotional service, just like when you see a fan spinning around, you shut off the switch or you pull out the plug. Does the fan stop immediately? No. It keeps going until it loses its force, and then eventually it stops. So our karma is still with us to some degree or other, and there's some happiness and distress that's coming away by material energy. But that will end in due course of time as we stay steady in devotional service. And then we will reach, as this verse here is called Brahma Sokyam, spiritual happiness, which is anantam, unending. And that is the real happiness, because material happiness is just another form of distress, because it relegates one to the illusion that material life can bring happiness, which it doesn't. It simply brings some relief from distress in due course of time, and we call that happiness. It's not really happiness. Real happiness is Brahma Sokyam, spiritual happiness, because the nature of the living entity is spiritual, not material. So what we experience in this material world as happiness and distress, it's just the movements of the waves of time. And one should tolerate it. We even have to tolerate happiness, because sometimes too much happiness in Krishna consciousness that comes by way of material energy can divert one's attention away from the goal of life and make one think that there is happiness in this material world. But that happiness, as we mentioned, is just a relief from suffering. It is not actual happiness. Real happiness is here. It's the nature of the soul to be happy. And therefore, the soul's happiness is awakened and when one engages in devotional service, especially when one hears and chants the glories of the Lord. Satatam kirtayantomam. When one chants the glories of the Lord, hears the glories of the Lord, and speaks the glories of the Lord towards others, and remembers those glories, one starts to begin to open up one's eternal life of bliss and knowledge. Because when we connect directly through that process of hearing and chanting, we are uncovering the soul's natural existence in the form of devotional service. So, therefore, happiness comes, distress comes, just like there is one story. What is actually happiness and distress in this world? That's also relative to one's consciousness. For some people, one thing is happy, and for another person, the same thing is distress. The same thing is happy and distress for two different persons. So what is it? Is it happiness or distress? It's neither. It's the movement of the waves of time that present a situation which is based on our desires, and our desires give us either happiness and distress, just like there's one story. This is a interesting story wherein one man in a village, he was living simply in one village. This was in one remote place in Asia. I believe it was China or Indonesia. And he was a very poor man. He had, the only possession he had was one horse. And he also had a son, a teenage son. So one day the horse ran away. And his neighbors said, "Oh, bad luck, bad luck, bad luck." he responded to his neighbor's statements by saying, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" So after some time, the same horse came back, and he was with a bunch of horses. So now the farmer had many horses. Everyone said, "Oh, good luck, good luck." He said, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" After some time, there was his son decided to ride one of the horses, and he fell off the horse and he broke his leg. And his neighbor said, "Oh, bad luck, bad luck." He said, "Bad luck, good luck, who knows?" After some time, the country got involved in war, and the government was conscripting the young men to the service. And so when they came to his village and his home, they saw that his teenage son, he was eligible for the army, but he had a broken leg, so they didn't take him. So his neighbor said, "Oh, good luck." He said, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" Just like, for instance, I preach in jail, and we meet people who have committed crimes, and being in jail is not a pleasant situation. But many of them, because they have been put in jail, have met devotees and have taken up devotional service. And now they say, "Oh, the fact that I went to jail was the best thing that happened to me. Now I understand Krishna consciousness and the goal of life." And they're happily executing devotional service even within the jail. So one should never judge the material energy according to good and bad, because ultimate, it's always changing. And good and bad is our mental concoction. For some thing, as we mentioned, some people take the same thing as bad, others take the same thing as good. I was in Denver, Colorado, back in the year 2006 during the Christmas holidays. And Denver is known for its ski slopes, many ski slopes. People go skiing there. And there's a lot of snow. And it's called a mountain high city. So when there's snow, then the snow really piles up. So I was there. I was supposed to travel within a few days, but then a tremendous, violent snowstorm came and practically buried the whole city in snow. All of the airports were closed. More than 2,000 flights were canceled. Stores were closed. Shops were closed. Schools were closed. And the economic loss to the city was millions of dollars. But on another level, people in the ski slopes thought, "Wow, this is great. Now we got some really fresh, nice snow. And now we're out," and the ski slopes became filled with people skiing. They thought, "This snowstorm is good." So is it good or is it bad? It's neither. It's just what it is. And so did we make these judgments? This is good and this is bad. But a devotee understands that what is good is that which is related to Krishna in devotional service, and which is bad is that something that takes one away from Krishna in devotional service, or is against the principles of devotional service. So if we understand these principles very clearly, we will never be disturbed by the waves of the material energy. And the waves will continue to come, just like you sit at the back on the beach and you watch as the waves keep crashing in from the ocean and hitting onto the beach. They never stop. You could sit there forever if you could, and you'll see the waves will just keep coming in, crashing onto the beach. So in the same way, the waves of material energy are there. Things go up, things go down. But up and down is, again, a definition that is relative to one's consciousness. So in this material world, we say nothing is good because ultimately everything takes us away from devotional service. Therefore, everything, in one sense, is bad. Even what is designated as good, if it takes one away from devotional service, it's bad. And even what is designated as bad, if it brings one to devotional service, it's good. Just like we mentioned, people in jail have accepted jail as the best part of their life because they now are practicing devotional service. So this is a very essential principle that devotees should understand. And that way, you'll never be unhappy in Krishna consciousness. We accept good and bad as part of life. That's all. It's just the way it is. And again, it's also relative to our consciousness. Some people say this is good, others say this is bad. Lord Chaitanya says this is all mental speculation. Okay, so here, back to our verse. Bali has to fight with Indra, and he knows that Indra is more powerful than he is, but he's not afraid. He's not afraid because he knows by the waves of time, he'll either become victorious or he'll die a hero in the battle. Either way, he knows the results will be one way or the other. So, but he stays fixed in his duty and he continues to fight. He doesn't let his duty disturb his activities. So devotees should stay fixed in devotional service no matter what. Even when we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, sometimes we don't feel happy. We don't get the taste. We wonder what happens. Don't worry. Just continue chanting. Eventually the taste will come back in due course of time. Okay, so we can stop there and open it up for discussion.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you for the wonderful class, and thank you for constantly reminding us that everything in this material world is actually trying to take us away from Krishna, and how conscious and how mindful we need to be at every second, every minute, and watch out about our consciousness. Devotee, please feel free to unmute yourselves. Maharaj is right here. Go ahead and don't hesitate to ask any questions that you might have. Maharaj, there is a question already on the chat. If I may read it out to you, please. It's saying, Sadhvi Mataji is mentioning, I have learned that pardon? It's from Sadhvi Mataji. Sadhvi Mataji, are you there? I think Mataji is not able to speak, or she's not in a position to talk right now, so she sent a chat. She's saying, I've learned that a devotee sees Krishna in everything. May I humbly ask, do we see Krishna in material energy also?
That's where you see him. Even in difficult situations, you see that behind that, the hand of Krishna is the source of this situation. Krishna is Sarva Karna Karnam. He's the cause of all causes. That's one of his definitions, one of his qualities, that he causes all the causes to happen by his energies or by his direct intervention. So not seeing Krishna in the material energy means to see something else. And what are you seeing? You're seeing the movement of material energy. But one who is in devotional service sees that behind that activity, there is the hand of Krishna. Behind the results of that activity is the hand of Krishna. Everything is happening by Krishna's. Therefore, Krishna says, one who sees me in everything and everything in me, I'm never lost, nor is that person ever lost to me. Try to see Krishna in everything. Even though we see the forms of the material energy, within those forms, the presence of the Supreme Lord is personally present in his transcendental form. Although we can't see it, we can understand that he is behind the movement of all activities in this world, both so-called good and so-called bad. which we defined according to our own mental speculation.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Sridevi Mataji, you had a question for Maharaj?
Yes, thank you. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This class which you gave just now, it's a very profound message here, and I'm trying to understand how it will apply to my situation. I'm thinking that when one becomes unhappy in a particular situation or a particular place, instead of changing that place, one should try to see what is the anartha that I need to overcome, because otherwise I will carry the same mentality wherever I go and whatever jobs I change or whatever situation I change. Is my understanding correct?
Yeah, Prabhupada says you're in one place and you think it's bad, but you go to another place, you still have to carry the same mind with you. Yeah. So the best thing, or the most correct thing to do, is base your activities on devotional service and not so much on the place you're in. The place you're in can be good or bad, depending on how much you are absorbed in devotional service. Even the nicest place can turn into hell if you are not engaged in devotional service, and even hell can be the nicest place if you're engaged in devotional service. So if you want to overcome these problems, just see how you can serve. You may change your situation for service, but not because of I like it or I don't like it. What can I do to absorb myself in devotional service? And then that way we will push back the effects of the material energy. So what he thinks in terms of devotional service, not so much in situation. Some situations are more favorable for our devotional service, and some situations are less favorable. We see even those situations change, and what becomes favorable one time becomes less favorable, and vice versa. The motivation is service, not so much what am I getting for my personal interest.
Yes.
My personal interest is how to be fixed in devotional service. That we should think about.
So that's where the work needs to be done, to become more and more fixed, to become nishtha, and to remove those anarthas which are blocking us from reaching nishtha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll come by way of devotional service. Devotional service purifies the mind and the heart and pushes back the effects of material energy, which are the anarthas also.
Right. Okay. Yes, Guru Maharaj. I think I'm getting some understanding. I need to meditate a little bit and go deeper. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Change your position only to improve your service, not for some happiness and distress based on your own perception of what it is. Sometimes we change our situation to make our Krishna consciousness more favorable. But it's all about Krishna consciousness. It's not about the situation.
Yeah. Right. Yes,
But
Guru Maharaj.
sometimes we can't change our situation, but we can change our consciousness by becoming more absorbed in devotional service.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji, for the wonderful question. And thank you so much, Maharaj. You actually answered one of my questions too. So thank you. To change everything which will take you more closer towards Krishna. How wonderful. Bala Prabhuji, you have a question? If you would like to go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mataji. I appreciate that. Obeisance, Maharaj, thank you very much. A continuation of that question, understanding, I want a little bit of clarification. Let's say if somebody is in a situation materially not favorable, apparently looks not favorable for Krishna consciousness. But to get the consciousness back in track, is the tongue would be a essential thing, in the sense, even though your mind goes somewhere, you just keep chanting it, either audibly yourself or whatever, just to get the tongue going. Would that be
Well, once you connect with Krishna, sound vibration, His holy name, you're purifying your consciousness. You're also raising your consciousness from the material into the spiritual. So also you're freeing yourself from the effects of the environment you're presently in the situation you're in. The chanting actually is the medicine for all the illnesses in this age. Eneshya Sari Maya, Nasi Badalagi, Harinama Mahamantra, loud to me Magi. So chant.
even though you had your regular 16 rounds, so keep chanting, just like Kirtaniya Sadahari,
16 rounds is minimum. It's not maximum.
Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Bala.
So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. We have a very interesting question on the chat. It says, Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for your words. As I find myself struggling, as I find myself living around Maya or living in Maya, Guru Maharaj mentions Krishna is behind every action, behind everything. Would this also be regarding falling into Maya? For example, if a
He
devotee
doesn't
finds...
want you to. He doesn't want you to fall into Maya, but he arranges the material energy in such a way that you have to somehow or other engage in devotional service. But if you get trapped by that same material energy, the entrapment was put there by Krishna in the form of the three modes of material energy. But he has nothing to do with your happiness and distress. Nothing at all. He says that in the Bhagavad Gita. I'm not the cause of anyone's happiness and distress. A watchmaker makes a watch and puts everything in place, and then when the watch is done, it runs by itself. The watchmaker doesn't have to be there to make the watch run. So Krishna places the material energy according to how it works, and then we have a choice to try to enjoy in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance, or get out of it, all of it, and try to experience Brahma Sukhem, transcendental happiness. So if we choose material, we're choosing Krishna's external energy, material energy. If we choose spiritual, we're choosing his transcendental energy, his spiritual energy. It's up to us, but whatever you choose, everything is set up by Krishna. In that sense, he's the cause of all causes. But still, you have your choice on where you want to place your consciousness, in Krishna or in material life.
Very nice. And especially us, the devotees, who have at least gained some knowledge, as you say, Maharaj. So it depends on our discretion, right? So which one we choose, that freedom we have.
Well, this depends on our attachment. If we're attached to material life, we'll choose material life. We have to create spiritual attachments, which will overshadow and ultimately eliminate our material attachments. Attachment is there. Can't get rid of attachment. But you have to be attached to the spiritual energy, to Krishna, to devotional service, to the eternal to our eternal nature, not to our temporary nature. We have to work in the material energy, but we should be somewhat detached from the activities that we perform and do them simply as a responsibility. That's all. Just to maintain the body. Our attachment first should be for Krishna, not for anything material.
Thank you so much.
That way, when we lose something material, we don't become unhappy. And if we gain something material, we don't become overly happy. It just comes. We gave a few examples.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I hope that answers Satyama, your question. Thank you so much for your wonderful question, and thank you, Maharaj. We have Prasiddha Prabhuji. If you would like to go ahead with your question, please, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances in your lotus feet, Guru Maharaj. Maharaj, you given an example of prisoners, and you're telling they were telling they are fortunate they could understand the Krishna consciousness. And so I was realizing that anyone in any situation could not stop anyone to be in the Krishna consciousness and in any situation, because if the prisoners can come in Krishna consciousness, to anyone in any situation can uh, they can come in the Krishna consciousness, and they can come to the they can near to the Krishna. So Guru Maharaj, thank you very much for realizing that for a small problems we started worry, and we moved out from our absolute goal of life. So thank you very much, Guru Maharaj, and I am so much thankful for you that you accepted me as your disciple. Thank you very much.
Okay, but learn the philosophy and don't become overwhelmed by happiness and distress. Stay fixed in Krishna consciousness, and you'll always be happy. Material happiness will come. Material distress will come. Just the way it is. And anything we're attached to in this material world is subject to the influence of time. So the time element will bring things about and take things away. Prabhupada said, he'll take everything away, even the body we have. But a devotee is not worried about that. They focus on the real goal of life because they know time will work accordingly, but let me use time to transcend time and come to the spiritual platform where there's no influence of time.
Yes, Guru.
No influence of time means that I'm doing devotional service now, and when I leave this body, I'll continue to do devotional service. I'll maybe in a better situation, maybe back home in the spiritual world. But there's a particular song, can't remember the bhajan, but the word deki. Deki is a machine. It's a wheat husking machine. So what does a wheat husking machine do? It husks wheat, obviously. So if you take the deki machine and you put it in the material world, it'll husk wheat. You bring it to hell, it'll husk wheat. You bring it to heaven, it'll husk wheat. So you take wherever you put a devotee, they'll be engaged in devotional service.
Krishna Kaviraj Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you, Maharaj. All glories to all of the Vaishnavas. Maharaj, I wanted to understand a bit more about this good and bad, because well, sometimes we see something good because it's encouraging us or facilitating us nicely in Krishna consciousness, and sometimes we see things bad because they look or feel painful and hurtful. But are they not also there to kick us or push us back into Krishna consciousness?
Yeah, one is favorable, and well, both are favorable for a devotee. Even a good situation, obviously, will bring us more opportunities for devotional service, increase the quality of our devotional service. And a so-called bad, we use the word bad as so-called because it's just a term people use. will make it more difficult for us to stay steady in devotional service. But the devotee will see that because I'm trying to become a devotee in devotional service, Krishna has given me some difficulty. And this is an opportunity to go deeper in devotional service, to learn more, to take more shelter of Krishna, to pray to Krishna, to become more dependent on his mercy. So they turn what appears to be unfavorable into something favorable or beneficial. We forget that we forget to pray to Krishna when we think I can solve it. What are you going to solve? Pray to Krishna, he'll give you the intelligence, or he'll either give you the intelligence how to deal with it in a favorable way, or he'll do something directly to make the situation favorable for you. Either way, he works for a devotee. He's always helping the devotee. If we depend on his mercy, and that's what it means to become a devotee, to depend on Krishna. In the material world, we're depending on our intelligence, our abilities, our facilities, this, that, our position in society, this, that, our relationship with with other people. We're depending on what is called fallible soldiers, things that can't give us anything. All they can do is give us some false understanding of success, but they can't save us. It's like people surround themselves with relatives and think, well, I'm surrounded with so many nice relatives, and I can be happy. I can be free from all miseries. But those relatives can't save you, nor can they save themselves. They're just as vulnerable as you are. Only Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. That's so nice. Just depend on Krishna and everything. It's every situation and everything turns out nice.
That's a real devotee, depending on Krishna. And Krishna likes that because that makes us more connected with him.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. And we have Anjali Mataji. Did you have a question? I had seen you hand raised.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Actually, my aunt, Guru Maharaj just answered my question. But anyways, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. Guru Maharaj, you already answered right just before I asked, but maybe you can add a little more to it. Like I have heard so many times you speaking in lectures and also read in book that we should accept the situations which are good for our devotional services, and we should avoid all those which are not good for it. So Guru Maharaj, some of the times, like it is good that when some misery is there in our life, we it keeps on reminding us that we should always depend on Krishna. But sometimes the point comes that the misery seems to be so big that we really want to change the position, and so I really get confused, and I want to learn how to differentiate how much of stress is good for our devotional service, because some of the times it just derails me out of it.
Yeah. We shouldn't put ourselves into stress or accept the stress. What you mentioned is a fundamental principle. It's called anukulena pratikul. Anukulena means accepting things that are favorable, and pratikul means avoiding things that are unfavorable for devotional service. And then the question is, we have to know what is favorable and what is unfavorable. So a distressful situation may be favorable, but it may not be favorable. So then again, you might have to try to understand the situation. Is it bringing you closer to Krishna or taking you away from Krishna? Too much distress can cause us, just like when we want to preach to someone in Krishna consciousness, but they have no food, they're hungry. You can't preach to them about Krishna consciousness. You have to first give them food, satisfy that need, before they can begin to understand how to practice Krishna consciousness. So when we are too much beaten down by the material energy, it becomes very hard to understand how to get out of that situation. But therefore, what makes it easier, or what makes the solution more available, is the association with devotees. When we take association with devotees, present our situation to the devotees, look for guidance and practical help, then we may also get some, we will get some understanding of how to move, whether we accept it or we have to somehow or other remove ourselves from that situation. It's not so easy to understand how to practice Krishna consciousness. It takes some intelligence. And so we develop the intelligence through sadhu sangha, association with devotees, through reading the books, and from hearing from the spiritual teachers. We develop those intelligence. So sometimes they say too much suffering and too much opulence is a disqualification for the practice of devotional service. Makes it hard. Those who are, very rich, they don't see the need for devotional service because they think, I'm successful. The greatest form of pride, there are many forms that pride manifests, and the greatest form of pride is wealth. There's pride that comes by bodily beauty. There's pride that comes by family, good family. There's pride that comes by abilities, intelligence, so many ways that pride can manifest. But the greatest of all forms of pride, which is the most entangling, is the pride of wealth. And so people who are very, very rich, they don't see the need for devotional service because they think, I'm successful. I can do anything I want. I can go anywhere I can want. I can control things. But that's another form of illusion. How long will that last? And even while they're doing it, they're not necessarily happy. But they think that they are okay, but they're not, because they're still under the influence of the three modes of material nature, which is constantly shifting anyway. So yeah, if there's too much distress, then you might see what the solution could be by taking shelter of the spiritual master's instructions and guidance in such situations.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. What you just said, I also read in Nectar of Devotion, where Srila Prabhupada was also saying that when you might be in a good position, you might be very wealthy, might be having everything good, but this is material world. You can be kicked out anytime from your position. So that was really a reminder. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
And you ask people about those people who have attained that, are they actually happy? They create the illusion that they're happy, but they're not actually happy. They have to believe that they're happy because they bought into the idea that this is success and they have achieved it. But then where's the happiness?
Why do they make this illusion that they are happy? It
They
would
have
have been easy if they would have told us.
they have to believe that, otherwise they can't go on in life. They have to believe the illusion. Otherwise, when they come to the sense of reality, just like the highest form of suicide in the world is people who are wealthy, not people who are poor.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
So what does that say? That says a lot.
Thank you, Maharaj. We have a, sorry, you're saying something?
There's a question by Sridevi, right?
Yes, there's also a question on the chat, but yes, Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
It's always better to take on-site questions and use the chats when
Sure.
we don't have any further questions. You know?
Yes, sure, Maharaj.
Thank you. Dear Guru Maharaj, one more question. I was thinking to myself when you said that sometimes when there's too much suffering, we may need to see what needs to change in order for us to do better devotional service. So I'm just talking my thoughts aloud here. I'm getting great opportunities here to go to Mangalarti, to chant in the association of devotees, to take part in the kirtans. Today, I even got the chance to garland Damodar and Yashoda while they were preparing the deities for the darshan early morning. Something that I would never get in years in Mayapur because I'm a nobody over there. Because this is fairly new, even ordinary people like me can get chances to do deity worship like that. So I'm questioning to myself, is this better for my devotional service to be in a smaller temple where there's more opportunities, or this is just some concoction in my head?
So what do you think? I think you answered the question already.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Maharaj. We will quickly take the question that is in the chat. That is from Pooja Arora Mataji. It's a very sweet question Mataji is asking. Hare Krishna Maharaj, in Damodar month, should we offer solid food to our little Damodar, or should we only offer semi-liquid food? She's basically saying that because Damodar is so child, it'll be easy for him to eat like a semi-liquid food. Is that what we should do?
I never heard anywhere in temples they offer baby food to Damodar this month, so don't worry. Although he's a baby, he can eat the whole world.
Any other last minute questions? Maharaj, you still have time. I'm just waiting. If anybody else has a question, please go ahead.
There's one by Janava Devi in the chat.
Janava, I don't see it. Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Wasn't popping up at mine. Janava Mataji is saying, Hare Krishna Maharaj, I offer my humble obeisances to you. Could you please elaborate more on what you said on highest form of suicide, being wealthy?
I missed the last few words.
So when you were talking, Maharaj, that people that are extremely wealthy might not be very happy because we see the suicide happening on the wealthy people's side, and sometimes they commit the highest form of suicide. So Janvi Mataji is asking, what did you mean by the highest form of suicide, being wealthy?
Well, it just shows that people who aim at material success, even when they get it, doesn't mean they're happy. That's the point. Material success doesn't necessarily mean happiness, but that's the propaganda in the material world. You get this, you do this, you be like this, and you're happy. But scriptures say no. Scriptures say happiness comes with when you engage in devotional service. So happiness is relative. Even material happiness is relative. Some people who don't have hardly anything, they're more happy than people who have everything. If your wealth and your situation cannot bring you happiness, what is the use? Radha Swami writes in his book when he was traveling in Afghanistan. That was back in the 1960s. He came to one little cafe in Afghanistan, and there was one little young boy there. He had a little handmade gourd, but had a couple of strings, and the boy was blind, and he was singing, the glories of the Lord. Now, the boy had nothing, and he was blind, and he just had a little handmade instrument. But Maharaj describes that boy was happy. There was no question. I mean, you could see being there that this boy was truly happy. But all he had nothing. So this indicates that what is happiness in the material world? Not by who you are, what you are, how much you have, how much you don't have. Happiness ultimately becomes real when we connect with the source of happiness, Krishna. Or you connect yourself with the source of happiness, Krishna. So that little boy, he was singing the glories of the Lord, and he didn't have nothing. But he was happy. So we're not saying one should change your position. Just find happiness in devotional service, whatever position you have. Stay in your position. Prabhupada never says change your position. He says just become Krishna conscious, that's all. Add Krishna conscious to your position. Then your position will automatically become favorable.
Thank you, Maharaj. How wonderfully you said that in order to be happy, don't just be happy with what you're receiving. Be happy by connecting those to the source that is giving you the happiness. How simple, how nice. Yes. So every time we get elated, if we can connect it with with our intelligence, that where is this source coming from, then automatically the substance becomes Krishna conscious. Thank you, Maharaj. Very wonderful. Devotees, if you have any other questions, last minute question, I have a nice remark from Sunil Prabhu. He's saying Hare Krishna.
Nina, there's two questions up there.
Yes.
Can you see the hands? They've been up for a long time.
Yes. Sakshi Mataji.
Take Asutosh. He's been waiting a long time.
Oh, I don't see Ashutosh Prabhu.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances and all the devotees, all the glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the glories to devotees. Maharaj, I have a question from today's session as well as connecting it with yesterday's session. So Maharaj, you mentioned that the most, just 1 second, the most complex entanglement is of wealth or money. And in yesterday's lecture, Maharaj, you mentioned that if you unintentionally kill ants or any other animals when you are doing random stuff, that's a sin. But if you do it if you are going to temple or serving devotees and then you are accidentally killing those insects, then that's not considered as sin. So Maharaj, you're trying to connect these and trying to understand from the money standpoint, Maharaj, most of the time we are in a position to earn the money, not for ourselves, but for our future generations, so that our family, our kids, our parents can, stay with comfort. But in those senses, if we, accidentally kill in like any insects or commit unintentional crime, like those are those considered as sin, Maharaj? Like, because your activities can be seen in a perspective manner. Whatever you feel right may not be right in others' point of view.
Yeah.
So
Prabhupada talks about you act for personal interests and you act for extended interests. So it's still personal interest, but extended. So you're acting for the benefit of your family members and others. That's an extended interest. It's still material.
okay.
It's
Will that
still,
still be considered sin, Maharaj? Like if we accidentally.
of course, because it's connected with the material energy. It's still sinful because it's about you. You decided to do something for others on a material level, but because it's material, it is still considered to be within the realm of karma. Therefore, you get the results of the karmic activities. You want to be free from karma, you have to, we talked about that yesterday. We have to engage in akarma, those activities that don't bring about either any results, good or bad. That's devotional service. Devotional service is transcendental to vikarma and karma. It is akarma. So extended self-interest is also self-interest.
So Maharaj, another like follow-up question to that. So while on one side I can stay engaged in the devotional activities and devotional service for temples, devotees, and all the other activities we can perform in our control. Uh, if we change just the thought that whatever we are doing or earning money, that Krishna, please help us because I am earning this to feed the creation you have given me in the form of my kid or something.
It's still
Is that
material.
the
It's
case
still
that
material.
just by changing the thought?
Try to understand the point. It's still within the material context. It's not spiritual. It's still within the material. You might call it good works, but it's still pious and impious activities are both within the realm of material. Therefore, they have a reaction, both pious and impious. It's still within the realm of material. If now, what I think what you need to hear is one is all right, you earn so much wealth. So you take a portion of that wealth and you give it to the Krishna Consciousness Society to propagate religious principles in the world. You take a portion of that to maintain yourself and your relatives, and you take a portion of that and you save it for emergencies. That's the division of wealth for a devotee. Portion for Krishna, a portion for personal needs, a portion for savings, like that. That's the formula for wealth. If you don't give anything to Krishna and you think, well, I'm helping Krishna by helping people in the material world, no, it's just good works. It's pious activities. It's in the realm of material energy, and it still brings about a reaction.
Understood, Maharaj.
You have to understand between the difference between material and spiritual. Material means for you, spiritual means for Krishna. You can be the greatest philanthropist in the world, but you're still under the influence of the material energy.
Sure, Maharaj.
You might say, well, you might call yourself a good person, but still, you're still within the realm of material energy. Therefore, you're creating karma, good karma and bad karma. But you're still creating karma. And if you kill living entities by creating good karma in the material world, then that will also be, you'll be accountable for that also.
Sure.
Anything material has a reaction. Either materially good or materially bad.
Understood, Maharaj. Maharaj, I have my kid with me. Rihan, he wanted to say Hare Krishna. He's just getting down for school.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Sure, Maharaj. I will follow that, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, try to understand. It's a very subtle point, but it is actually the difference between material and spiritual.
Yes, Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Ashutosh Prabhuji. Thank you for your wonderful question. So from now, we will all contribute definitely for Krishna consciousness activities for propagation, so the wealth becomes purified. Sakshi Mataji, please go ahead with your question, please.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance. Also, wish you full of Prabhupada. I have a very general question. It is said that we don't have to over endeavor for material things as well as under endeavor for the material things. So I just wanted to know how to determine our quota so that our mind is content and we can still practice peacefully.
Well, the standard is Ishavashamidam Sarvam Yad Kitchat Jagam Tigat Tena Jagtena Bundijaha Magridaha Kasaswidanam. This is a very good question because there's a lot of relative conceptions based on the answer. But the principle, as mentioned in this verse, is that everything in the material energy is owned and controlled by the Lord. Well, one is allowed to live according to their quota. So you have to know, what is your quota? What do you need to live nicely in this world? So you need food, you need shelter, maybe you need family. So all of these things are allowed for the livelihood of the person. But if you go beyond your quota, then you could get trapped by some reactions. And if you go under, you might find it hard to maintain yourself. So one has to live quota. And Prabhupada says one of the principles for the execution of devotional service, which applies to all ashrams, is simplicity. Learn how to live simple. Simple doesn't mean poor. Simple means what you need to keep body and soul together. Now, that may differ from person to person. Because the verse, which you kind of indirectly indicated, is in the Bhagavatam. It says that no one tries for distress, but distress comes automatically. The same way, happiness will also come automatically without you trying for it. It's part of your, on the material level, it's part of your karma. You're allotted so much happiness and distress when you're born. It's already there in your destiny. You can change that by devotional service only. But when you in the material world, you can't change that. So people are foolish. They think by working hard, I'll be more happy. By getting this, I'll be more happy. No, their destiny is already written. They can't change that. But only one who takes the devotional service can change that. So as far as our personal livelihood is, all right, learn what you need to live according to your situation that you're in. That's all. And don't try to accumulate or endeavor more for things that you don't need, Just like somebody gave me a watch just the other day. Nice watch. I mean, it was really fancy. It had all kinds of gadgets to it, but I don't wear watches. And I'm thinking, it's very nice. And I should honor the fact that somebody gave me this, but I'll just wear it for a couple of days and then find someone to give it to. Because I can live without a watch, but there's some people think, oh, I can't live without a watch. So you have to see what you need and what you don't need. And you have to be honest. If you're honest, even if you make a mistake in one direction or another, it's not going to hurt your devotional life or your material situation. You be honest. Let me try to live with the basics. And then I'll have more time. This is the point. I'll have more time for Krishna. If we live too gorgeously, we don't have any time for Krishna. And if we live under our needs, then we have to struggle to maintain ourselves. And that also takes away our time from Krishna. So the golden mean, or the middle road, that's why Krishna says in the Gita, one who is temperate means moderate, one who is temperate in eating, sleeping, working, and recreation can successfully execute the yoga system or bhakti yoga. So find that middle road. Not too much, not too little. For those who are married, a little bit more. For those who are not married, obviously they don't need as much as those who are married. Find that balance. No one's going to tell you this is your balance. You have to find it. But you can also test it by how much time you're giving to Krishna. If you find that you don't have enough time for devotional service, that means you're living beyond what you need. And when you get to the point of becoming fully attached to Krishna in devotional service, then that's all you do. And Krishna will maintain you 100%. You won't have to do anything but devotional service. He'll provide everything you need automatically.
Thank you so much. It really helps a lot.
Okay, maybe we can stop here. I think we went to an hour and a half so far.
Yes. Devotees, let's offer our obeisances to His Holiness's feet. One Shakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.
For Vrinda ki jai.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam Maharaj ki jai.
Damodar Manth ki jai.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj, for the beautiful class. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Okay.